At this point, we can't really deny how much impact AI has had in our lives, and with groundbreaking innovations with tools such as ChatGPT, Copilot, even Gemini, it's only a matter of time before there is an AI for almost every task out there, including your very own assistant, which is where this guy comes in. This is Plaude AI, a note-taker that is small, sleek, and a very useful device that summarizes and transcribes your conversation so you won't have to remember anything. It comes as a note and also as a note pin. And as beautiful as that sounds, there are some major flaws I think this device has that is not just pertaining to the Plaude AI, but almost all AI voice recording, including like its competitors like the B. But how does this device actually work? It's really quite simple. It comes with this little device, a charger, and this attachment that helps you attach to any MagSafe compatible device. You turn it on when you're having a conversation by pressing on this record button, and it records these conversations for you, summarizes it. When you open the app, it also syncs and gives you different forms of summarizations that you can use to summarize that call for you. Very useful. It also has one thing called the phone call mode, whereby if this is attached to the back of your cell phone and you toggle on the cell phone mode, having conversations with someone on the phone, it's going to record both parties, that's you and the person having the conversation, summarize and sync it with the app, and provide you summary of that conversation. Let's assume it's a meeting you're having. Now, all of this seems pretty enjoyable and really decent. You're going to love it until you start noticing some of the flaws. And one of them is you have to physically carry this along with you everywhere. For starters, I already carry almost 2 phones wherever I'm going, one on the Android and iOS side of things. And just attaching this to the back of the phone with a case starts making the phone feel a little bit bulky and somewhat more noticeable. Also, when you put this in your pocket, you're going to notice that bulge that nobody really likes. And this becomes a little bit of an inconvenience, especially for me having to carry this everywhere just to get the best recording and transcriptions from all the conversations I have. Despite all of that, this is a very super useful device. I was having a long conversation with one of the engineers in a project I'm working on, and the entire conversation took over like an hour or so, and this was able to record the information, transcribe that conversation, pick out the key points for me, and I was able to get the details of the conversation. And what this did for me was I was able to stay in the present while having this discussion, really think and brainstorm at that point without having to tax my brain to remember everything I had in that discussion, because I knew Plaude was taking care of those conversations. But with that comes the privacy concerns. First, the other person I was having this discussion with, an engineer I was working with, had no idea that this call was being recorded, which might serve as some form of violation. But I've looked on the Plaude website and they have done some measures to make sure that privacy concerns are a little bit addressed. They're compliant with HIPAA according to their website, and HIPAA is the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. It's a US regulation that protects privacy and security of patients and health information. So this shows you that, like, if you're a health provider, I'm sure you can use Plaude to take summary of your conversations with your clients. And also SOC2, which is an auditing framework for kind of service providers that ensures that their system security and manage and customer data is always meeting security standards, like availability and confidentiality. Regardless of all of these checks that Plaude has put in place, you still have to be bothered about the privacy of the other person or the people around you generally when you're having a conversation. You see, this device does not only just record your conversation, it records those around you. So how are you going to get the permission from every other person to record those conversations, especially for states whereby you need dual consent, especially when you're recording people's conversation? But not only that, this device also comes with some form of a subscription model. When you buy this device for about $159, which is for this note-taker, you get a free subscription that grants you 300 minutes monthly subscriptions, which is about 5 hours. Now, once these hours are exhausted in a month, so if you've had over 5 hours of transcription in a month, you can either get more subscription to get more hours, or you have to wait till the next month. Now, I don't think this is the worst form of pricing I've seen. It's pretty decent if you're able to record 5 hours on the free subscription. But if you really want to take this serious and use it for like your clients or medical reasons, I think 5 hours might not be sufficient. So you might need to also factor that and looking into those types of subscriptions if you eventually deciding to get this device. But let's leave this device a little bit and let's talk about the software that runs it, especially with the app I love what Plaude has done with the app, because the app gives you lots of customizations and gives you options for you to make use of, making it a little bit easier for you to get started with using the app. Now let's go through a scenario whereby you want to record an entire conversation, or you want to just create a template for you. So you click on here, you can see it's recording currently as we speak. And this is why the Plaude AI, I feel, is really good, but also back to this privacy concerns. It's recording your conversation as it goes. You can see your battery level, you can see the notes, you can pause recording, it pauses, and you can also resume those recording. Right now, it's recording everything I say. For this B-roll, we're going to see how much it's going to be able to process this information. We're going to see if it's able to identify some of the voice in this particular conversation. Just for the sake of this video, let's see how good this actually works. This video is not going to be that long because we're going to use just about 2 minutes to record this. I think I'm done talking now. Let's just stop or save it. So now we're able to save it, and you can see it's waiting to transfer. This is actually transferring what I just said right now. If you click on it, it's transferring. The transfer speed isn't that bad. You can transfer over Wi-Fi, so it really depends on your kind of network, so you can transfer that over Wi-Fi. So now this has automatically recorded those conversations, and there you can see it can generate you meeting notes with this template, or this is also the transcript template if you like. This is just like the general overview analysis. So we're going to now click on generate, and once you click on generate, it pulls up some of the templates you have available to you. You can use reasoning autopilot or reports autopilot. You can also view all the templates. These are the different templates you have available for you if you want it to be in like an interview, key points detection. So for this particular aspect, we're just going to go to key points. So I'm going to click on the key point and use this template, and it's going to generate it. Now you can also use speaker labels, which is what I spoke earlier about. Let's try and identify speaker label, English, AI model, auto. And now let's generate, and the magic happens. It tries to transcribe the information. Now we have it, and as you can see, it also provided like a description, demonstration. Plaude AI, I'm sure because of probably accent, or so it couldn't really get the spelling here. But here you go, it goes speaker one, and if there are like 2 speakers in which I'm going to try and test, you're going to see those 2 speakers, but it gives you that summary. This is also the transcript of everything we said earlier. You can ask it the question. Let's just ask it, what is Plaude? Let's see. Now it's going to search through the entire conversation. Alcohol Plaude, how the app syncs, analyze recording, transcribe description, provides pretty decent, pretty accurate AI. These are the summary. This is also like a mind map. That's how you use it, and these are just all your files that are going to be stored. You can also come here, you can come to your file, you can always rename those files also. Okay, did the file name, move folder. You can trim the audio, find and replace. You can also retranscribe, summarize, delete it, move it to trash, and you can also share this. You can copy the transcript, you can export the audio, export the summary. Really amazing app. The Plaude AI Taker is a really handy device, but there are some aspects I would like to see generally in the terms of wearable AI improve, especially with things like easier integration and privacy concern. Since I already have my smartphone, it would be lovely to have not another device to carry along with me. I know this can be a little bit tricky, but it would be nice if that can be solved. The other aspect is the impact of this on the environment in terms of like data processing centers and the amount of sheer energy that the data centers are going to be using to transcribe thousands and tons of information to help you summarize and use that. I don't know how they're going to solve that, but I just think it's one of those egg and chicken situation whereby you can have good AI processing without having heavy data and usage and resources, but we'll just leave that for the experts to solve. But with all of this in mind, you might be asking the question if you should get one. Now, there's some things I want you to consider if you actually decided to get this Plaude AI. You should keep in mind about the amount this costs for you. It costs about $150, and there's a subscription fee if you want to use more than 5 hours of recording monthly. So just keep that in mind if you want to buy. If you like to try other AI recorders at a slightly cheaper option, I think the BAI might be a good alternative. It's about $50-something that might give you an easier way to get in without so much of a commitment. And if that works for you, you might decide to use it. If you're also deciding to give this to someone, make sure you give it to someone that will use it. I see a lot of students really benefiting from this, and a lot of also people that have conversations with clients a lot of time benefiting a lot from this AI. But if a lot of the issues around privacy can be fixed, that would make us sleep well a little bit much better. So I'd like to know if you've used any AI recording device, or which one you think might actually be better than Plaude. I'd like to try them, so put them in the comments, and I'd like to know your experience using any form of AI recording. Was it easy? Would you use it again? Would you try this? I don't know. I will, maybe. See you in the next one. Peace.